Although people are still joining, I'll begin this webinar. My name is Yuvraj Thakur and I represent verifavia-shipping as the global head of IHM business. Shubham, is it okay? Can anybody? Can you see my screen? Clearly.
All good, sir.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. So this brings me to the webinar topic today. Today we are discussing the inventory of hazardous material, especially the maintenance of IHM. When we talk about the maintenance of IHM, we are in the year 2020 December, and at this time, the majority of shipping companies or the majority of service suppliers, they are basically these guys are just completing their surveys. Whereas we at Verifavia, we acted in a pretty clear, proactive manner, and we have an established maintenance procedure and a software on which to maintain IHM. Before I start, I'll just give you a bit of introduction of who we are and what is our company. Can you please
Yuvraj, can you hear me, Yuvraj?
Yes, now, sir.
Okay, I can take it forward. I'm ready. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. We had 159 registered attendees, participants now. Sorry for the delay. We had a few technical problems. But anyway, let's start. Thank you very much. Welcome to our verifavia-shipping Global IHM webinar. It's a pleasure to meet you also virtually. Thank you for your time this morning. We have a 1-hour webinar. We are 10 minutes late, so it's going to be a 50-minute webinar. We want to stop at 10:30 CET AM this morning. So verifavia-shipping, very quickly, as you all probably know, we are a certified IHM expert company with an extensive global team in place to prepare and maintain IHM for both new and existing vessels. Our team is actually all available online today. They are all there. Yuvraj, if you can go to the next slide where we can see our global team of hazmat experts. We have around 50 in-house hazmat experts based in our office in Chandigarh, northern India, in Himachal Pradesh, and we have almost globally presence in more than 100 ports worldwide, where we have a team of more than 20 or 30 subcontracted hazmat experts, local hazmat experts, who are all expert in the preparation of IHM and the conduction of onboard survey to collect samples for the preparation of IHM Part 1 reports. So as you can see on the screen, so I'm the one on the top left-hand corner of the screen, and Julian Dufour, CEO of verifavia-shipping. Nice to meet you. My colleague Yuvraj, that just talked a couple of minutes ago, he's our VP Commercial, verifavia-shipping, and he's our General Manager in India, verifavia-shipping Technical Services, and he's our Global Head of our IHM practice. Then we have Sharad Gupta from Cygnus Marine in Hong Kong, who is our man in Hong Kong, taking care of commercial in Hong Kong, and also a qualified hazmat expert who has also big experience in the preparation of IHM report part 1. We have our friend and colleague Sudhir Bhatia from ISF, based in India and Singapore, who is the company that has developed HazInvent, which is the software that we use to prepare and maintain IHM. So the HazInvent and HazInvent M is developed by ISF, and Mr. Sudhir Bhatia as director of ISF. Then we have Alexander from Dynamarine in Greece, Athens, Alexander Scheppers from SMS, based in Leer in Germany, who is our man in Germany, covering the whole country. We have Captain Mert from Corona Maritime in Turkey, based in Istanbul. We have our colleague Mr. George Zhang from OceanX in China, Mr. Choi from Danby Marine in South Korea, Mr. Cheong from Danby Marine as well in South Korea, Mr. Papayonu George from Dynamarine Greece, Peter Machano from PM3 based in Dubai, Sven and Frank both from Mahaz in Denmark, covering Scandinavia, and our colleague Roy, based in Houston, USA, a company called SEM Global, and Rafael, our man in Panama, who is also a qualified hazmat expert and who has conducted numerous surveys of ships transiting the Panama Canal. So this is our team. They're all here. They're all present today. If there are any specific questions during the Q&A session, then we can answer your question. And if there is a need, one of our colleagues can also answer the questions. Overall, it's about 45, almost 50 hazmat experts in all major ports worldwide. If you, Yuvraj, if you go to the next slide, you can see the list of countries that we cover. We also cover Canada, USA, Panama, Germany, France, the Netherlands, Greece, Turkey. We have people in Denmark, UAE, and also actually Poland, Croatia, Turkey, India, China, Hong Kong, South Korea, Singapore. We also have hazmat expert in Australia, Malaysia. We are overall covering 100 ports worldwide. So travel restriction is not a problem for us, because no matter what, we employ local surveyors who can easily be dispatched on board ships to collect surveys. If you can go to the next slides, we are approved by most of the IX members. We are the most approved hazmat expert company. We're approved by, as you can see, ABS, Class and KKR, Bureau Veritas, LR, RENA, the China Classification Society, Marshall Islands Registry, the flag state itself, the Liberian Registry, Class NK, and obviously DNV GL. So we have track experience in working with all these classification societies, and we can handle preparation and maintenance of IHM Part 1 reports for ships classed by any of these classification societies. We have a portfolio of more than 800 ships under IHM preparation and more than 1,300 ships under maintenance of IHM from some of the largest shipping company in the world. The latest company to sign up with us for maintenance of IHM is BSM, Bernard Schulte Ship Management, in Cyprus, Hong Kong, and Singapore, for a total of 350 ships for the maintenance of IHM. And one of our oldest and largest client is also Seaborn, based in Hamburg, Seaborn Ship Management. As I said, 1,300 ships for IHM maintenance. We have already completed almost 800 vessels preparation of IHM onboard surveys over the past year and a half by our team of 45 hazmat experts. We have submitted to class more than 700 reports that are being certified by the classification societies. As you know, the deadline for the preparation of IHM is the 31st of December 2020, so which means that on 1st January 2021, all ships calling at an EU port of call or anchorage in the EU must have a certified statement of compliance for IHM on board. So from the first, so the deadline today, we are on the 9th of December, so there is 22 days to go before the deadline, and our team are working full-time until we complete the process for for all of our clients. We have standard. We work to the standard ISO 9001 and 17020. We work with 5 labs in Singapore, China, Malaysia, and India. And we, of course, work as quickly and as efficiently as possible, and always striving to meet all the regulatory requirements. So now, what is IHM maintenance? This webinar today is focusing on not on the preparation of IHM, but on the maintenance of IHM. We assume that most of you have already prepared IHM or in the process of preparing the IHM Part 1 report. The next step, the hot topic from now on, is the maintenance of IHM. This is part of the regulation, the Hong Kong Convention and the USRR. As you can see on the HKC regulation clause 5, says that the Part 1 of the IHM shall be properly maintained and updated throughout the operational life of the ship. It's also a regulatory requirement of Article 5 and Article 12 of the EU SRR regulation. Part 1 of the inventory shall be properly maintained and updated throughout the operational life of the ship, reflecting new installations containing any hazmat referred to in Annex 2 of the US SRR regulation. So it's a regulatory requirement. It's not an option. What does it mean? The regulatory requirements are further defined in the MEPC guidance document 269. That says that if any machinery or equipment is added to, removed, or replaced, or the hull coating is renewed, part one of the inventory should be updated according to the requirement for new ships. It's also the regulatory requirement are also further defined in the EMSA guidelines. Article 551, a ship owner is responsible for the maintenance of the part one of the IHM during the lifetime of the ship. The ship owner should designate a person as responsible for maintaining and updating the inventory. It's a crucial responsibility of the ship owner. The main responsibility of the designated person is the maintenance and updating of the IHM in accordance with the IMO guidelines and the EMSA guidelines. So this is clearly a regulatory requirement. So now what does it mean to maintain the IHM? The preparation of IHM, the onboard survey, is a picture, is a photograph of the situation regarding the presence, location, and quantity of hazmat on a given day, on the day of the onboard survey. But from the next day, anything can happen. There are things delivered on board, new equipment, new paint, new coating, new installation. From the next day, the inventory can already start changing. So the purpose of the maintenance of IHM is actually to track anything that is delivered on board from the day following the onboard survey, so that if there is any hazmat delivered on board or any equipment that contains hazmat that is delivered on board, then the IHM report part one is updated. So in order to achieve this goal, the suppliers must provide for each product delivered on board a supplier's declaration of conformity, an SDOC, and a material declaration, MD, for every product delivered. That's two legal documents that have to be provided by the suppliers anytime they deliver a product on board. These documents must include a detailed description of products, inventory, and potential hazmat. It also applies to downstream suppliers, ensuring a complete outline of materials supplied on board. So as you all know, this means tracking and filtering all the POs and the delivery notes in order to, and this can amount to hundreds per ship and per year, and then contacting the suppliers in order to request the SDOCs and the NDs for each PO and delivery note, which can take a lot of time because it's about screening the POs, understanding identifying the relevant POs, identifying, matching the POs with the indicative list to identify POs or products that may contain one of the prohibited hazmat, and then following up with the suppliers in order to collect the SDOCs, the MDs, and then update the IHM Part 1 report on a continuous basis. So this is a huge task, as we are talking about hundreds of POs for every ship every year, and overall up to several thousands of suppliers. Please, can you unmute? Some of you have not unmuted their microphone, and we can hear some background noise. It's very important that you unmute your microphone because we can hear people talking in the background. Okay. Can anybody hear me? Yuvraj, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
So everybody was
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Sorry about that. So the maintenance of IHM is also a class requirement. Ship owner must maintain the IHM throughout the life of the ship with renewal surveys every 5 years. As you know, after 5 years, you have to renew the IHM SOC. And the IHM Part 1 is reviewed during the annual class survey, and the evidence that the IHM Part 1 has been properly maintained during these 5 years is also reviewed every year during the annual class surveys. And this review must provide confidence that the vessel's IHM is maintained as per internal procedures and as required by the regulation. And the documentation to prove that the IHM has been maintained is a very detailed inventory of products and the potential hazardous material that may be included in every product's equipment that is delivered on board the ship on a continuous basis over this 5-year period. The updated IHM Part 1 must always be a fair representation of hazmat on board, not just on the day of the onboard survey, but every day, every time a new product or new equipment is delivered on board. Consequently, the IHM is a live document. It's not static. It requires continuous updates, regular updates by dedicated staff and certified personnel. You need personnel that know their job, that know about hazmat, that have been hazmat, that are hazmat experts, that know how to screen POs, and you also need resources to track and to follow up with suppliers in order to collect the SDOCs and DMDs. And this also requires IT in order to facilitate this process. Our solution that will be presented by Yuvraj in the next section will show you what we can do for you, that we can take this headache off your shoulders and pass it on to us. That's why we are here. What we propose is a combination of expert resources of hazmat experts in India and worldwide, combined with a state-of-the-art IT tool, IHM maintenance dashboard, combined with the app called HazInvent M. And it's this combination of resources, expert resources, and IT, state-of-the-art IT system and software that we propose in order to completely, in order for shipping companies to completely outsource this process to us and make sure this whole process is conducted consistently, diligently, and complying with all regulatory requirements, so that anytime there is an inspection by the PSC authorities, by the classification societies, by the flag states, at any time during this 5-year period, then your IHM Part 1 is fully maintained, and the updated IHM Part 1 report can be generated at any time, and the status of the IHM of any ship can be tracked with a few clicks through an app anywhere in the world, on board the ship, at the office, even at the PSC inspector, and even at the classifications office. So I will now give the microphone to my colleague Yuvraj Thakur, who is our global head of IHM, who will explain everything to you, who will introduce our IHM maintenance dashboard and HazInvent M, and also how it's linked to the suppliers portal, so that we can get automatically the MDs and SDOCs and POs and whatever is required from the suppliers directly into our dashboard, in order to which the ultimate objective to relieve you from this hassle and ensure that you basically have nothing to do, and we do it on your behalf. Thank you very much, and see you later in a few minutes for the Q&A after this second session. Thank you very much. Over to you, Yuvraj.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Dufour, for your explanation and presentation of the problem at hand. So as you very rightly said, that this is the problem at hand, and verifavia-shipping is now bringing the solution in. We are bringing in the solution not just only for the ship owners, but also for the suppliers, which is what I'll show you in the second part of the presentation. But this is what we propose, how to take off the headache off your shoulders and pass it on to us. So because we are committed people to supervise and maintain the maintenance process on your behalf, we understand the MEPC guidelines, we understand the rigor requirements, and why we are so experienced. Just to give you numbers or a fact, we have conducted onboard surveys on almost 750 odd vessels. On an average, there are 80 to 100 samples on each vessel. So, we have a real experience of at least 75,000 to 80,000 items being tested in different laboratories around the world. We don't have our in-house laboratory, which again gives us an advantage. So in different laboratories around the world, we have a very clear database and indication that what items usually come back as positive. because we are all ex-seafarers, all the team are all ex-marine engineers, we're all experienced hazmat experts. We believe that we'll be able to screen the PO in a better way, evaluate what is on the PO, review all these POs, and then check whether the materials are listed in table A of the regulation or table B of the regulation. Again, table A and table B, they have their own requirements. They have their own list of prohibited chemicals. So because we are aware, we are working on the topic. We view a certain equipment in a different way. We believe that we will be in a better position to do this as first step, and then liaise with the suppliers to collect MDs and S stocks. We work on your behalf. We work on on the POs that are generated by the shipping company, and with liaise with the suppliers. Again, there are many suppliers who registered for this webinar. For the suppliers, this particular regulation, it came in as a headache. It came in as a extra burden. It came in as they will have to recruit new people. But nothing of this is needed when you work with verifavia. So when you work with verifavia, we provide you access to a platform which I will showcase in the second part of my presentation. You can create an MD or SDoc within 30 seconds or less than 1 minute, and you can create different MD and SDoc. You can select number of POs on the system and create MD and SDoc in less than 1 minute. With this, when you create your MD and SDoc, the MD and SDoc is saved at the right place on verifavia's dashboard, which means that the IHM report is being continuously updated. It is being checked by our people. It is being reviewed by our people, and it is issued whenever needed. With this, what we are saying that we take the headache off your shoulders and pass it on to us. And how do we do this? So the next couple of slides, this particular slide will give you a view of an as-is case. So what happens when we are not in the picture. So when we are not in the picture, the suppliers liaise with the ship owner or manager, and ship owner or manager liaise with the class. The ship owner or manager, they collect, analyze, and store the PO. They locate and quantify potential hazmat, and they update and maintain part 1 and maintenance logs. Now magic happens when we come into the picture. This is what has been happening over the last 6 months since we started the tool. Since we launched this IHM maintenance platform, we already have more than 1,300 ships on the platform, because the ship owner's only job now is to engage verifavia. Verifavia is liaising with the suppliers. Suppliers also have an easy life because they can create their own MD and SDoc on verifavia's dashboard. So we become as a central agency to liaise with the ship owner, to liaise with the supplier, provide a system which can be checked by the classification society, the EMSA, or flag state. What we do is we collect, analyze, and store the POs. We liaise with the suppliers, we locate and quantify potential hazmat, and we update and maintain part 1 as well as maintenance logs whenever needed. To go one step ahead, so this is a case wherein I've explained you the overall scenario. Now, how we are becoming more efficient? How we are becoming more efficient is via this 3-way plug and play system that we launched back in June or July. So on this particular system, Hazardous M is the application, or it's a web-based platform that is accessible to the shipping company. This is accessible to the PSA. This is accessible to the vessel users. Where the majority of work is happening on this topic is verifavia's in-house dashboard. So on verifavia's dashboard, we are reviewing all the POs. We are liaising with the suppliers. The suppliers can actually connect their database with our system directly. So every time there's a PO request to the supplier, they can just click on submit data to verifavia, and the data comes into our dashboard. Similarly, the procurement system of a shipping company can be linked directly to verifavia's dashboard. We have done this for many procurement systems already. So in case you have a procurement system, you can give us the requirement. You can give a, we liaise directly with the IT team of the procurement system, and within, within a couple of days or within as least time as possible, we connect the procurement system directly to verifavia's dashboard. This way, a very simple to use and efficient 3-way plug and play platform is generated, wherein you have access to Hazardous. Your suppliers have access to verifavia's dashboard, and verifavia's dashboard is linked to your procurement system. So, essentially, you do not need to do anything. And this is the overall nomenclature, overall environment of what the whole technological based platform is showcasing. So The ship owner or manager, when they use the system, they can log into the system, they can overview the IHM maintenance status, they can access any specific MD and SDoc, they can download any ad hoc IHM reports and certificates. The vessel users can do the same. Now, to be able to log in or view this particular system, or to demonstrate this particular system, please feel free to connect to us directly one by one, and we can demonstrate the Hazardous AIM system to ship owner. We can demonstrate the Hazardous AIM system directly to you or your shipping company. The PSC of Flagship, they have access to the same system. And here is what the total integration means, that Verifavia's experts and dashboard are connected to the POs, they are connected to the suppliers, they are connected to the procurement systems via various APIs. They are performing the heavy work. They are collecting, analyzing, reviewing the POs. They are archiving the MD and SDoc and maintaining the IHM on Hazardous M, access of which is provided to the shipping company as well as the vessel users. Why we went into so much detail? Because we are from a maritime background. We understand that a shipping company on board cannot really enjoy very high internet speed. So the system has been specifically designed to work on very, very low internet speed. And the system has been specifically designed to work on very, very low bandwidth. Now, how do we? I'll share you with a live demo on how a supplier comes into the Verifavia system and creates a MD or SDoc. Can you see my web page? Shubham, is it visible to you?
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
So, okay, thank you. As a supplier, you will be given your own login credentials and password. You just need to log into the system. This is Verifavia's in-house system, which we are providing to the suppliers free of cost at the moment. So once you log on to the system, you get access to the POs that are under your responsibility. I'll just see when the system starts in. Yes, so as a supplier, you can see that you have 3 POs which are pending. You have 0 PO which is updated. On the setting page, you can save your signature and company logo on our platform. You can see your notifications. You have your own login credential, and you have some pending POs or some PO to be updated. You can select all the POs at once, but you can go one by one. I'll just take an example of one particular PO. You can see what is ordered, or what is on the agenda by just clicking on this PO. This normally should open up as a pop-up, and once you click on an option to select, you can auto-generate a MD or SDoc. So the MD and SDoc, which normally you would look at the template over email, download the template, fill it by your hand, put your company stamp, scan it, upload it, and send it back via email. You can actually create an MD and SDoc on the system within 30 seconds, in less than a minute. So here is the file which I will open. And here is the MD and SDoc directly created on our system by the supplier. Just give me a second, please. So as you can see, here is the material declaration in the right and correct format provided by the IMO and EPC. You can see all the hazardous material listed as no, and you can even see the SDoc with signature and name of the supplier. So very quickly, in less than 1 minute, you can actually create a MD on an item-wise basis or a SDoc on an item-wise basis on our platform. As simple as easy as that. You can actually, even select multiple MDs, multiple POs, and create MD and SDoc. So we give you option to do this job, which was heavy or which was a big burden for the suppliers before today. You can create the MD and doc within 30 seconds. And how would this for already explained us, a bit about us, who we are. So I'm very, very happy today because, on the webinar today, there is somebody from Brazil to somebody from Korea and, the world squeezed in between. Perhaps thanks to COVID-19 situation or, thanks to pandemic that we have really taken a big leap when it comes to attending webinars, but we have a worldwide team. We are a global company, but still available to you locally. If you are in Greece, if you're in Germany, if you're in China or any other part of the world, just pick up the phone, look at your local expert, and feel free to connect to them. As a small business, we are really proud of the big commercial presence that we have. I would like to now thank you so much for your presence here. Thank you so much for your time today, and we go on to the Q&A session right now. I'll go to the GoToWebinar and see whether there are any questions. Okay. Okay, there are 47 chat items. So now what we can do is maybe one by one. I can see our team, answering questions. Harshal and Captain Mirth were answering questions around asbestos. But are there any specific questions around asbestos, around IHM maintenance? If you would like to go one by one, please feel free. If you would like to chat or if you would like to really speak on the chat button, please move on. We still have 15 minutes to go, so please feel free to talk if you have a question, or one of our colleagues, our representatives, if you want to add something, Sharad sir, Captain Mirth, or whoever, please feel free to add.
Hi Yuvraj, this is Praveen. I have a question.
Please go on.
So I understand that IHM maintenance part 1 has to be updated only if we make changes to the fixed item on board. Yeah. Not for the consumables. Like if suppose there is a torch battery, we just collect the MDSDOC, but we did not do anything because it's not going to be a fixed item. It will get removed from the ship after some time. Now, when we have a fixed item like UPS or an example was given of the anti-fouling paint for the ship. So when this kind of thing is getting updated, we collect MDSDOC and the hazardous material mentioned in that. So that part we have to update in the IHM part 1. And updation could be by adding a single page to the existing report what we received from company like you, or how the IHM part 1 will get updated. I mean, because it's a report, it's a hard copy. So how the master or how the company will update?
Okay, thank you so much for your question, Mr. Praveen. If you could just give another part to your introduction, maybe just introduce yourself and your company. We'll be able to we'll be very thankful.
Yeah. This is Praveen from Evergas Ship Management Singapore. I work as a fleet group manager with the company.
Okay, perfect. So what we have is you don't need to again, you don't need to perform this task because we are doing it on your behalf. We have an option to download the IHM maintenance report or the full IHM report from our system. Your vessel can do this directly from our platform. And the IHM maintenance record would be shown in an appendix on the bottom of the report. Like you said, one page will be added, but we do this in a bit of a, I would say, in a bit of a balanced way. We have a very clear appendix which lists down what has been added, what has been removed, what POs led to these hazardous items, what POs are free of hazmat from the time IHM was created until today. So we give you a complete record of the IHM status, and this can be downloaded directly from the system.
Okay. Yeah, thanks. Another question is, so this MTSDOC has to be collected only if the certain items which are listed in the MEPC, those are in your supplies, right? I mean, then only we should follow up with the suppliers to collect MDSDOC, and then accordingly we should handle it.
Good question, because many ship owners, I mean, this is the thing. I mean, it seems we can handle it, but I would say it's not just about MEPC. It's about the MEPC, of course, the indicative list, but it is also about the experience. And like I mentioned, that we have an experience of 750 to 800 vessels and an experience of 75,000 to 80,000 items. So there could be an item which was never on the MEPC, but when we were preparing our reports, this item has continuously come back as positive for a certain chemical. So, and then there are EMSA guidelines. So, our understanding is it's a mix of three. It's not just one.
Okay. Okay.
Hello, everybody. Can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
Okay. Nice to meet you all. My name is Jovan Jovanovic. I'm working for Müller and Böttger ship chandler in Hamburg from Germany. I'm the head of technical procurement, and we are receiving a plenty of requests to provide agencies like you with MDs and SDocs. I have two questions. The first one is, um, we receive a plenty of requests for SDocs, MDocs for items which are not fixed to the vessels, such as with bolts and nuts. And my knowledge was that we only have to provide you with SDocs and MDocs which are fixed to the vessels. Meaning, I have received from Verifaria the request to provide you with MD and SD for image symbols, which are self-adhesive. Is that right? This is my first question. The second question is, are we allowed to summarize an S-Doc and M-Doc and to provide you with it for one complete PO with several items, provided that all of them are non-hazardous?
Okay, thank you for both questions. I'll take the first one first. See, there is a bit of gray area or ambiguity in the regulation right now because when you say a nut and bolt, it's not fixed, but when you actually use it, it becomes a part of the structure and equipment. So in the first year, especially, Verifavia is not taking any chances. If it is required, we are requesting extra documentation, extra MD and SDoc, just to be on the safer side. So it's a bit of gray area. We agree on the regulation, but we do not really leave it for imagination. At least for the first year, we see how the PSC behaves, we see how the EMSA behaves in the first year, and then we can take these decisions. Same thing goes on to your PO question, that one PO can cover all the MD and SDoc. This is the reason why specifically we have created a system wherein from your point of view, you create one PO, but on our system internally in the backend, this particular PO is created into 30 different POs if there are 30 different items. So we have solved this problem on the PO. Why we are doing it? Because in the first year we want to be on a very safe side, and we don't know how various agencies will behave or will respond. So that's the reason we've been asking a bit extra, or we have been asking for some information which initially, in your view, might look like it's not a part of the requirement, but we don't know how the PSC will behave. That's our understanding at this moment. And as and when we learn, as and when we move on, we will keep on, we'll keep on changing it, or we'll keep on updating this particular understanding.
Yuvraj, I have a question, if I can put it forward.
Please, Alex.
Hello, I'm Alex Klikas from Dynamarine. So I have a conceptual question, which I believe it's of interest to everybody. It's Verifavia, as time goes by, will collect many data. So do you have any plans as an organization to assemble this data together and deliver benchmarking characteristics back to the market? Thank you very much.
Okay, good question, Alex, and thank you so much for it. We have not really thought about this because as an organization or as a data authority, the data still belongs to the shipping company. But if shipping company permits, and if in the future there's a benchmarking opportunity, our data, what we request, does not contain any commercial information. So if this non-commercial information based on different suppliers is helping shipping companies become more compliant, or their supply chain become more compliant with regards to the IHM requirements, then why not? But we have not really clearly thought of this.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Yuvraj.
Thank you. Okay, we still have 5-6 minutes more. Are there any further questions, maybe by the suppliers? I saw one from Germany coming in with questions, but are there any more suppliers on the forum who would like to ask any query around MD or SDoc or their creation? Okay, I do not see this, any further questions coming in. I also saw there were a few queries around asbestos. So please, feel free to come back to us in case there's a query around asbestos removal as well. We are not a specialized company ourselves, but we have partners around the globe who could do this job for you. And finally, we have 5 minutes to go. Any of our partners, we have partners right from Panama and US to Korea. Any of our partners would like to lend any voice, or they would like to speak something on the topic. We still have 5 minutes to go.
Hi, Yuvraj. This is George from Dyna Marine.
Yes, George, please.
I just wanted to comment that I've seen Hazinvent. It's an amazing system, and you have done a great job for the maintenance and all the follow-up for all these things. And go on, and I'm sure you are ready for more surprises for the market.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, George, for your nice words. We have created Hazinvent, and thanks to Sudhir sir and his team at Hazinvent who have really created such a platform, which is very intuitive and very easy to use for the users. I think Mr. Sham Paniwal has a question. Sham sir, would you like to put this question?
Yes. I just wanted to know, how can we, give this presentation to like the Korean owners and the Japanese owners in our area? So how can we tell them, like about Verifavia and the service offering, and can we get this presentation by mail or something?
Yeah, we do, we will, because there were so many people on the platform, I think highest today was 175 people. So, anybody who needs the presentation, please write back to us one-to-one, to me and Mr. Shubham Jain, and then we can provide you with the presentation. What we normally do is we first provide the presentation and then we book the demo in case there's a client who is interested. So please feel free to get back to us and then we can provide you the presentation. But we would really appreciate not distributing it to the whole audience, but only people who are interested can write back to us.
Yes, because
Hi, my name is Jovan again. I would like to ask you some more questions. Möller, Böttger, Schipschedler, Hamburg.
We have only 3 minutes left, and you said that you have some more questions. Maybe we can take this offline?
Of course.
Please, that would be really great. We have Mr. Alexander Shepherds, who probably is on the calls. He is our local representative in Germany. So, please feel free to, get back to him, or please feel free to write. Yeah, Alex has already listed down. Please feel free to call him.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so I would then now take the opportunity to close this meeting. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining in. Thank you so much for our global partners, and we really wish to keep on adding to this number of 1,300 vessels that we have in the last 6 months. And thank you so much for entrusting us. Just as a last, before we move out, please feel free to also connect us for the EU MRV and IMO DCS requirements. We are, one of the world's biggest independent aggregators of carbon emissions. There are new stuff coming into the market like the EEXI, EEDI, and CII. Please feel free to connect back to us in case you have any queries around these as well. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, evening, or night wherever you are. Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Final word by myself. Thank you very much for your time and availability and your questions. I can see that you use a lot of you used chat box to ask technical questions, and we had a thank you to our Harshal, our IHM maintenance manager, for replying to the questions. As you can see, our solutions is a combination of two worlds: the best state-of-the-art IT system and expert hazmat resources. It's combined with also a state-of-the-art app, Hazinvent M. That's the solution that we propose. We strongly believe that it's one of the best, or probably the best solutions that exist on the market at the moment. We are also linking our state-of-the-art IT system and app with the suppliers portal, which is a very strong point. So we really look forward to working with you to conducting the IHM maintenance for your ships. We have a strong team in place. We are recruiting new hazmat experts and IHM maintenance executives on a monthly basis, and then qualifying them and integrate them into the team. We have the capacity to handle a lot of ships. So if you need a demo, online demo, if you have any questions, if you need a contract quotation proposal, if you have any technical question to any of our team members, please feel free to reach out to us, to Yuvraj and to Shubham, and to our IHM maintenance manager Harshal, or to myself. Thank you very much. It's 10:30. It's the end of our webinar. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for your questions. We wish you a great day, and we look forward to interacting with you regarding IHM maintenance in the hours, days, and weeks, months, and years to come. Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.